It's showtime, baby. Welcome to Recognize Maine here on RecognizeRap.com. This episode, we got a couple special producers stopping by. Nat The Genius, the producer of the Recognize Maine theme music. He'll be stopping by, as well as F12 On The Beat, an up-and-coming beat maker from Maine. Excited to have those two guys on the show. First, so I want to start with this. Today we got an artist from Maine making his Recognize Rap debut. He goes by the name Young Freako, and this here is his brand new smoking hot track called Kids in Block. Let's get into it.
Yeah, you been with me since day one, though. How you gonna shoot your style on me? You got me sobbing, it go for real. Go for real. Silly looking down on it, boy. They say he ain't got no story to tell. I came from body, this shit been real. Shit been real. Father, I wanna testify. Put my pain on it, bro, for real. Tell you niggas story body side. Body side, all my niggas they be going to pay. What you know about all them key and blood? What you know about all them key and blood? Key and blood.
Hey, his little baby would say that one there is harder than hard. So make sure to play the full track on SoundCloud. Again, Kids in Block by Young Freako. And now we welcome F12 On The Beat to Recognize Maine. So first, I gotta ask you this. Your name is F12. What exactly happens when you press F12 on the keyboard?
That's actually funny that you asked. Well, I chose F12 simply because it's the last key on a keyboard, and I was like, that'll be something really unique and easy to remember. Like, if people type that into Google, they're not going to get the wrong stuff. But then a bunch of people kept coming to me like, yo, is it like F12, like the police, like, is it all edgy? And I was like, I mean, if you want it to be, but that's not how it came about.
I actually never even considered that, F12, F the police, so that's funny you said that. Okay, so I see that you're a Call of Duty player for a team called Truth Descent. So what are your thoughts on Black Ops 4? How would you compare it to previous games?
Black Ops 4, well, I haven't quite prestiged yet, so I'm not hardcore into it, but I like it. I mean, it's a little weird. They got all those new perks like the heat shield or whatever. That thing can kill you so quick, but nothing can beat Modern Warfare 2 for me, man.
Yeah, that's a good one there. Honestly, I haven't even bought Black Ops 4 yet because I'm still hooked on Call of Duty 4, the Modern Warfare Remastered version on Xbox. I'm still playing that nonstop, but if I had to choose my favorite Call of Duty game, I'd probably have to go with COD 5 World at War.
Yeah, definitely. That's like most of my friends, but I just got in at Modern Warfare 2 in middle school, and that's when it completely took a hold of me.
Yeah, that's the most addicting one for sure. Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit and talk about production. So I know that you produce on FL Studio. Why do you choose that program rather than Ableton Live or Logic?
Well, when I first got into producing, I was actually doing a lot of EDM stuff. I did like mostly dubstep, but I also did like trap, house stuff. And I tried out like all of these free software. Like when I was first getting into it, I had no idea what I was doing, like Mixcraft and stuff. And from what I saw, most people were saying that FL Studio had the best like beginner workflows, the easiest to learn. So I tried it out and found some good tutorials and stuff on YouTube, and I just, I can sit down in FL Studio and make a full beat pretty much in like 5 to 10 minutes versus when I tried out Ableton Live, the like piano roll is laid out differently, and I just find it's like my workflow in FL Studio is crazy because I've tried out a lot of DAWs and it comes with a lot of killer standard like VST plugins too, like Harmor, Citrus, stuff like that. So
yeah, I've heard FL Studio is the easiest for beginners for sure. So let's talk about the Pack in Black, because you're the co-founder of that. And for those unfamiliar with it, it's an independent record label in Maine. So what's that all about for those who don't know you guys?
Yeah, so the Pack in Black was more of it's a project with my buddy 207 Dav. I don't know if you've heard anything about him, but basically what we wanted to do is just create a little team full of like the kids we knew and stuff, and just basically work on a bunch of creative projects together. So my photographer Austin Roy is part of that. He's amazing. He does all our shots. He shot the video that I actually edited for AB the King. You had him on here not too long ago. And then we also got a young kid from Greeley, where I went to school, named Lex. He's a really talented producer, so we all just kind of work together, give each other ideas, and we're hoping to just work together for years to come, honestly.
Okay, yeah, I've heard some good things about Lex from a few people, actually, that he's hard on the beats. And, of course, like you said, shout out to AB the King as well. So earlier this year, you produced a track for Ammo. Who are some other local artists that you're trying to work with from Maine?
Yeah, so I worked with Ammo. If you check out my SoundCloud, I obviously have a lot of work with Dav. AB and I are actually going to release a full tape together pretty soon. Drippy and I, we've actually been in the studio together for like months. We just haven't really put anything together. So it's supposed to be a track with AB, Dre, and Drippy, Dre Armani. But honestly, anyone really. I'm supposed to work with Ammo some more. I think I might, send some stuff to Hooligan Bam's way. So, but anyone that wants to work with me, just hit me up. I'm really kind of new to the whole hip-hop scene as far as, like, actually networking and stuff, but I'm definitely ready to work with whoever.
Yeah, man, for sure. And thanks again for stopping by this episode of Recognize Maine. Before we let you go, though, gotta play one of your unreleased beats right here. Let's get into it, baby. F12 on the beat. That one's super hard right there. All right, man. Well, thanks again for stopping by Recognize Maine. And now we welcome Nat The Genius to the show. So, Nat, you recently launched a clothing line with your bro King Prez. It's called Full. So I got two questions. One, why'd you start a clothing line? And two, what does Full mean?
About 10 years ago, one of my friends and I started a company called Feast or Famine, and then that ended up kind of like going down the drain. We ended up getting a lot of money stolen from us, and ever since then I've kind of wanted to do a clothing brand. Well, I wanted to do one for like a long time, but then that was kind of brought a quick halt to it. But lately, Preston was with the idea and decided to just kind of like go for it, and he backed up with the money, so I didn't really have too much startup money to get it going, but King Prez was kind of there to back me up. You said what was Full, like what does it mean?
Yeah, what does the word full represent?
Well, you don't want anything empty, you know what I mean? It was kind of about full and glass half full, and it's having everything like full. You want your bank account full, you want your life to be fulfilled,
Okay. So right now you guys are selling sweatshirts, t-shirts. Do you have plans for any more products?
Yeah, right now me and Prez actually have like a lot of ideas swirling around, but we just wanted to start out kind of basic with a few just like clean basic designs and not have it be too blown out at first, so we can kind of get like our feet in the water with what we wanted the company to look like. A lot of times you see these companies and they come out and they just have like crazy, almost like too many colors and almost like death metal, looking like death metal t-shirts or something like that, and we just kind of wanted to keep it clean and simple and have an image that could grab people's attention without it being too all over the place.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so I was on your Instagram page, and I saw that you have a baby son on the way. So first, congratulations on that. And how will the birth of your son motivate you to go harder as a producer?
Well, already I'm kind of like, the last year I've already put in more work with making beats than I have in the last couple years prior. Like, I'm probably sitting on over like 500 beats that I want to place with an artist, but I would say about 300 of those have been made this year so far. So I know for after I have my son, I'm kind of going to be sitting around taking care of him and might not have a lot of time to be putting in music. So I'm just trying to go as hard as I can while I got the chance.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's good that you've worked so hard and put in that groundwork because, like you said, it sounds like you're going to be in daddy mode once that baby arrives.
When I found out my wife was pregnant, I was kind of just like, all right, now's the time. Like, I can't sit around and wait for something to happen. It's got to put in as much work as possible. But as soon as he's all settled, I'm sure I'll be back to it.
Okay. And another thing I saw online on your Twitter page is that you got a collaboration coming with DJ Kenn, All or Nothing. So what are the details on that?
That actually came about through my homie from New Jersey, F12 On The Beat, and I've been collaborating with him probably the last year, and he's done work with like Famous Dex and Trippie Redd and I think Lil Peep, and he has a few connections out in Chicago, and one of his homies is DJ Kenn, so he sent me a couple collabs over, and it's crazy.
Yeah, man, I think a lot of people don't realize that DJ Kenn is such a legend because he's one of the first original people who discovered Chief Keef in Chicago.
Yeah, DJ Kenn's definitely a huge legend. That's somebody maybe 5 years ago, if you said, hey, Nat, you're going to be collabing with this guy, I'd be like, no, I'm not. But yeah, I got the opportunity to get a few files sent my way and just tried to do my thing as best as possible.
All right, awesome. Now, speaking of legends, last time we spoke here on Recognized Maine, you told me that Lex Luger was one of the main reasons you started producing, and he's got a lot of music with Waka Flocka Flame. Now, Waka Flocka recently announced that he's retiring. So what are your thoughts on that? Because it seems like it's the end of an era.
Yeah, honestly, the whole Brick Squad era was when I was first getting into production. That was what motivated me to pretty much make beats, the whole Gucci, Waka, OJ, like all that crazy trap music they're making. But for him retiring, if that's something, like he already made like his stamp in the game, you know what I mean? Like he put such a mark in it that I think if he wanted to retire, he's still going to be like a legend and still be an artist people listen to. The Flockavelli album is some of the craziest production and like definitely changed the sound of like what the rap game was.
Oh yeah, I mean we were just talking a little bit about Chief Keef, and I think had it not been for Waka Flocka, I think Chief Keef would definitely, maybe not be as successful as he is today. So what do you got coming for 2019? Any collabs we should be on the lookout for?
I'm still working with Soulja Boy a lot. Like I know I got some stuff coming with him. I've heard it. He was planning on the SODMG radio, but it hasn't dropped yet. But you know how it is. You never know if things will drop or not. So I'm just going to keep trying to put in as much work as possible. And definitely me and Prez are just going to try to go as hard as we can with the full clothing line. But right now I'm pretty much focused on the clothing and just trying to get production out there and not really try to get placement so much, but just get as much production as possible done. That way I can, when I'm sitting around my son, pretty much send out beats maybe.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Well, thanks for joining the show here on Recognize May. And right now we actually got a sneak peek of your track with DJ Kenn, co-produced by Elf as well. So let's get into that. Man, that one there is major. That sounds like intergalactic, that one. Man, so thanks Nat The Genius and F12 for stopping by this episode of Recognize May. Shout out to the viewers as well for tuning in.